Hey everybody, happy Thursday, and welcome to another live episode of Automation Ladies. We have been having fun with some technical difficulties today, and I'm not the only one. We had a recording that we were supposed to do earlier. One of the guests was having trouble, and our guest right now is having a little bit of trouble with their camera, so we'll give her some time to see if she can work that out. In the meantime, if you decided to join us, please say hello in the comments. I don't know if anybody is here that doesn't already know us, but I guess I'll say hello. I'm Nikki, your host, head of partnerships at QuoteBeam. Somebody pointed out to me today that there's no purple QuoteBeam hats in my background, and I realized I've given them all away. So I have one of my old school OG QuoteBeam logo hats from when we first started. It always reminds me of that picture of me and Allie where we first went to Automate, where we first met in person, and it says Automation Ladies in the house. So although we've switched the logos, we've switched to the purple, I will never forget this and hopefully not give it away. Hey, Allie, how are you?
I am okay. My voice is kind of better.
Okay. I've at least stopped crying. There's a little filter here that makes me look a little more put together than I really am. Courtney.
Bless the future.
I didn't get to cry yet.
I haven't cried on camera yet, but there's a first for everything. We'll see how that ends up working out.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm
Automation Ladies True Drama Series.
You know what? I thought about it, and I look well enough now to present myself as polished and never mention to anybody that I cried half the day today.
Actually, you kind of look sunburned, so yeah, I can kind of tell.
My face is red.
Yeah. Anti-tear filter. They should make that.
They should.
That is a great idea.
They make one that makes you cry. They need to make one that uncries your face, for
Miguel,
for the next meeting you gotta jump on.
You should do a emoji pancake with the pancake bot. So if you guys don't know Miguel, he runs a business or builds robots that make pancakes. Like
that's amazing.
Characters like gantry systems that you can program to dispense pancake dough. So yeah, one day we will show the pancake bot along with a Courtney will go for a visit to a robotic pizzeria.
Yes, I am really looking forward to that one actually. The robot made pizza.
Miguel says we'll make a pancake for you. Yeah, make a crying.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miguel.
I'm trying to get mine and my cats to come over here because someone's talking about my cats. I think Vlad.
Where are the cats? That's Vlad. Hey, Vlad. Thank you for joining us. Where are all the LEG cats? Well, we'll see. I guess they're out of sight right now.
There's only 2 of them now. One of them died because he was old.
Yeah, so the 2 sisters.
Yeah. Pepe was 17, though.
Zaria, and I always mix them with which.
Yeah.
Speaking of
sometimes people,
our guest is a twin, right? And I know that's something you mentioned before.
I only figured that out accidentally today because I had seen her twin and I assumed they were the same person, and so I'm just and literally Husseina and Hassana, so of course I'm not gonna really just totally get that right off the bat, and then I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the same thing, and then I'm looking at her picture, I'm like, that's not the same person, but they have the same last name and they look really, 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 really similar, and their first names are so close. I hope she makes it. Maybe she's having technical difficulties.
She is here, actually.
She was struggling with her camera earlier.
The video.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but because this is also an audio show, and I don't know how many of you have had Zoom or Google or Teams meetings over the last 3 years where somebody's video wasn't working. I guess this will be one of those shows. So Hassana, welcome to Automation Ladies, and I'm really sorry we can't see you. I guess she might be getting some technical help right now. I'm going to go ahead and
Can you hear me? Hello,
yeah,
can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
My camera is not coming up.
Yeah, so I don't know if you think you have a solve for this, you can keep fixing it. We'll chat about other things, or we can just go ahead and get our conversation started and do it via audio. It's up to you.
Okay, but I'm not sure. I wanted to share my screen. I have few slides.
Oh yeah, let's see if you choose to present.
I have seen an option to share screen. Let me try it out and see.
Yeah.
The audio's pretty good.
Yeah, go ahead and give it a try to bring your slides up, and we should be able to throw those up on the screen, hopefully.
Okay.
I'm gonna mute Courtney while she is walking away. So
Just closing the door.
Live shows, this can happen. This is our first time having a video issue like this, but this is real life, right? Yeah. So anybody, I guess while we're working on that, what are you up to, Allie, this week? I see you're at home.
Recovering from Hawaii syndrome, where like I just close my eyes and I just hear the ocean or the koki frogs, depending on.
Yes,
Nikki,
look at that.
Ali, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So
and I think everybody else can too.
Beautiful.
So I'll wait for you to finish your introduction, start the program. Then when it's my turn, I take it up from there.
Okay. So
cool.
Go ahead, Allie. You can finish up.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I'm still hearing the koki frogs. They like koki. I don't know if you guys have ever heard the koki frogs, but the ocean, all of its ions, like I got all ionized by the ocean, so I also got super sunburned. So you can't just like put it on once, like you have to like keep applying it. Especially
you do.
Like the whiter you are, the more that you do have to do that. So but I got a good I basically now peeled everywhere. And I feel like a snake. But yeah, that's me recovering. That's my voice kind of sounds weird, but I'm really excited to talk to Hassana. So
all right. How about you, Courtney? You want to give us a quick rundown of where you're at and what you're up to?
Yeah, buried in an exhibitor demo for Automate that's coming up so much faster than any of us keep giving it credit for, I think. So come check out United Robotics Group at Automate because I'm working my butt off on the demo.
Okay. And I guess this would also be a good time to advertise that we are going to be doing or available for some Automate live interviews. If anybody is going to be at Automate and wants to do an interview with us in the main Automate live stage there in the middle of the show, we would love to do that. A3 is who you need to contact. Or you can also contact myself or Allie to get on the schedule for that. There's also other people you can choose to interview with, like our friend Ann Wyatt, and there's Jake Hall and quite a few others. So I think that should be really fun. And another thing that I want to throw out for Automate is that we are going to be hanging out in Harding's booth on the Tuesday, and there will be slots to interview with us there as well. We don't have a way to schedule that at the moment, but if you're into connectors and you want to talk with us or just find us somewhere at the show, Harding booth will be a place to find us on the Tuesday. And with that, now I do want to this episode is supposed to be about our guest here, Hassana, and unfortunately we can't see her. But Hassana, before we go into your slides, unless it's on part of your presentation, can you just give us a little background about yourself and how you got to be into automation engineering?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. You are all welcome to the live session interview with Hassana Ojochide myself, with the automation ladies, our host, Nikki Gonzalez of QuartzBeam, our second host, Alicia G of Process Control Engineering LLC, our co-host Courtney Fernandez, and myself, Hassana Ojochide of Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited. I welcome you all to this podcast. I'm Hassana Abubakar from Kogi State, Nigeria. I'm a graduate of Electrical and Computer Engineering from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, and I'm an MSc holder of Control Engineering from ABU Zaria. Getting a job after my graduation was almost impossible due to the rate of unemployment in my country. Getting a job was almost an impossible task. So, as the best female student, graduation was going to be on a platter of gold, but no. I started teaching in primary schools, secondary schools, colleges, mentoring young students, especially the girls, never to give up on their dreams, to keep engineering and mathematics, to take tech courses and face their fears. Of course, what a man can do, a woman can always do that better. I started applying for internships. I wrote different aptitude tests. I was called by Dangote Industries Limited for an internship for 1 year. After the academy 1 year internship in instrumentation and control, I was not retained. So in my waiting time, I applied to my present company, MESL Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited, for another internship, again for 1 year. After aptitude test and interview, I was also successful. And during the program, I did lots of sacrifices. I had to win my little baby of 1 year plus at that little age. And because I needed to focus, I have a dream. And then with an understanding husband who is ready to support my career, my progression, I was able to finish the program and come out among the male and female engineers that were trained. I was immediately retained as a SCADA, Industrial Automation Power Plant Engineer by Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited. Here I am today as a testimony that work does pay. We should never give up. We should take some risk, and the sky would be our starting point. SCADA is an acronym for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition. I want to give us a brief overview of the components in the gains, generator, the transformer, the 330 kV conductor, earth wire, powerhouse crane, air ducts, piping gallery, cable gallery, main drain 36-inch diameter, the switchyard, and lastly 330 kV line. This is the overview of Kainji Hydro Power Plants where I work. Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited is the operator of both Kainji Hydro Power Plants, Jeba Hydro Power Plants, and Zungeru Hydro Power Plants. What we are seeing here when my...
Hassana, I'm sorry, can you... I think maybe you need to change the slide. It's not updating on our side.
Can you see my slides now?
We can just see still the first slide.
Let me stop sharing and share again. Maybe it's network.
Yeah, I think it got stuck, and we are having a little bit of audio issue as well. So maybe some sort of bandwidth, but hey, we're pretty used to dealing with unreliable technology, connections, things like that. I know Ali has brought this up recently. We've been working on some proposals, and the word seamless integration gives us all a little bit of...
Can you see my screen?
It's a bit triggering. Okay, there we go. Yeah, now we see the correct slide.
All right. So this is the intake dam and powerhouse arrangement we have here at Kainji Hydro Power Plant. Like I said earlier, Mainstream Energy Solutions, my company, we are the operators of Kainji, Jeba, and Zungeru Hydro Power Plants. So this is the reservoir. The reservoir stores water to ensure continuous supply of power generation. And then this is a screen gate. The screen gate filters the debris from the reservoir before they get into the penstock. So this pipe-like structure here is our penstock, is 8 meters diameter. Our penstock channels water from the reservoir to the turbine, creating pressure to drive our turbine. And then down here is our turbine. This is our generator. And then this is our exciter. We have our transformer over here. The transformer we have here is 185 MVA transformer, is a power transformer. It steps up 16 kV we generate from our generator to 330 kV line. And then we have the tail raise where the used water by the turbine goes down to the downstream after it's been used. And then we have the earth fish, as we know, to safely disconnect electrical equipment from the source for maintenance or during emergencies. And then our 330 kV conductor. They transmit electricity to high voltage for long distance distribution. And then this is our switchyard, 330 kV switchyard. It connects our generators to the transmission lines and controls electricity distribution. And lastly, this post we are seeing here is the 330 kV line. It transmits electricity from our power plant to the Nigerian national grid. This is our SCADA system. Our SCADA system at Kainji Hydro Power Plant, what exactly do we do? Our SCADA system collects real-time data from our sensors in the plant and equipment in the plant. It transmits these signals through the PLCs and our controllers and cables to the control room, and then display it for visualization on the screen for our operators. In the context of a hydropower plant like ours, our SCADA facilitates the supervision, the control of critical components like our turbines, generators, transformers, breakers, and many more remotely.
Can you try to exit and bring up the slide again? Because I think it's just not advancing for some reason.
So sorry, I think it's the network.
Yeah.
That's okay, it's great.
Yeah, it happens to us a lot.
Can you see my screen now?
No, we're not seeing it this time.
Sorry.
I don't know what I would do without caffeine.
Can you see my screen?
Same.
Yes, now we can. Okay, so now I think maybe, I don't know if like when you advance the slides, they're not moving on our screen. Maybe you just need to, every time you want to change the slide, remove it and then bring it back to the right slide.
All right. I'll do so.
Sorry to make this extra complicated.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So sorry.
No, don't worry about it.
All right. What we do in SCADA department, the operators of our plant operate the SCADA system. While we, the SCADA engineers, we maintain the system. We ensure the continuous smooth operation of the system 24/7. We guarantee the system's functionality by conducting our daily checks and updating essential software on our servers. We thus play a crucial role in enhancing energy production efficiency and proactively addressing potential issues to prevent significant disruptions. We are the back-end engineers, and as back-end engineers, we oversee the operator desk, responsible for controlling our machines. Our responsibilities include, but not limited to, designing, maintaining, and programming all our plant processes to automate them effectively. Our priority as SCADA engineers is to ensure that operators in our control room has visibility of all the units, both running and those that are not running, and access to their real-time data. This includes receiving of alarms, acknowledging them, warnings, and updates on real-time events pertaining to every equipment in the plant. One of our key roles as SCADA engineers is to enable our operators to initiate machine startup and stop processes remotely from the control room. So instead of physically traveling to the plant Our operators can initiate these processes with a simple click of a button, optimizing efficiency and saving valuable time and energy. Using our soft SCADA server, we analyze programs for our maintenance department, like electrical or mechanical departments, to swiftly pinpoint the precise fault location, significantly reducing troubleshooting time. Can you see my next slide?
Nope.
No.
So I think you need to, remove it and bring it back with the next slide. But that was a really thorough overview of what the SCADA engineers do there. I really appreciate that.
And I love how SCADA engineering is done the same no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah. And, there's critical infrastructure all over the world.
Yes.
And I'm sure, differing sophistication or, time of when things were installed in different places. I know here in the US, we suffer from like a lot of our infrastructure being aged and
really old
because it's been around for a really long time, and then we haven't invested in it as much as we should probably since. So I would be curious if some of these systems, like in Nigeria, are actually younger than what we're dealing with here because they were built later on. But I'm sure there's here in the US we have brand new things as well as really old things, right? Ali, you work on some municipal systems and stuff. I mean, I don't think one of us have stepped into a hydroelectric power plant, but who did we just talk to recently that just did a project?
Dale.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was Dale. Exactly. So we have them here, but they're not super common. This is really interesting information. Okay, now we have the new slide. There we go. Perfect.
All right, thank you. SCADA department here, we have had some achievements. The first of our achievements this year is the recovery of one of our generation units, 1G11 control, into the operator desk. As you can see, this SCADA, before in the control room or the control operators in the control room were not able to monitor or supervise. So before now, all our available units were connected to our SCADA system except this unit, 1G11. So the SCADA department was assigned this responsibility, and I and my team members successfully completed this task. The unit is now integrated into the SCADA system, and as a result, all alarms, events, adjustments, including megawatt power adjustments on the unit, are now visible and manageable through our operator desk. Can you see my next slide?
Nope. We're gonna have to bring it back. So take it out. And in the meantime, I saw a kitty tail.
She left again. Come back here.
I'll have to, now that I'm starting to record at home sometimes, you guys may end up meeting Luke at some point.
Can we see my screen?
Yep. Now we can see the next slide.
And my cat.
Meow. Hello.
She's pissed.
She's like, I'm not having this. I didn't sign up for this today.
Okay,
Hassana, go ahead.
All right, this is one of the achievements we have had as a SCADA department, real-time megawatt generation board at our 3 locations. We have our headquarters in Abuja. We have one of our plants in Kainji and the other in Jeba. Like you can see from this picture, we have 8 installed units or generating units in Kainji, but 5 are currently running. And then in Jeba, we have 6 units installed and 5 are currently running. So from all our locations, any of our staff can now see each of our units megawatt power, each plant total megawatt power, and then the Mainstream Energy Solutions Limited total generation from both Kainji and Jeba hydropower plants in real time. We manage the maintenance, and this results in significant cost savings to my company.
nice.
I guess I have to stop sharing and come back for the next slide.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. You know what? We are used to making workarounds, right? That's a common,
Yes.
Where
common
there's a
theme.
will, there's a way.
I'm actually really interested also to see the SCADA screen, the first one that you showed, because we didn't see that slide up close. Maybe we can circle back to that one in a little bit. We can see the plant upgrade slide right now.
Okay. So this is one of the achievements to one of our plants, the Jeba hydropower plant alarm system upgrade. Prior to this upgrade, our operators had to manually and physically go to the board, this board, to acknowledge and reset alarms. My department SCADA successfully executed this upgrade we are seeing at the right hand of the screen, where an operator can conveniently sit down on his seat and receive or acknowledge and then reset several alarms from the plant. So SCADA department saved my company approximately about 200 million naira. It was a great achievement for the SCADA department. So maybe I'll go back and show the SCADA screen earlier when it was not visible before I continue.
Well, now I can actually see you changing.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we're good to go now without you having to drop off with it every time. Yeah, we can see it perfectly now.
That's beautiful.
That is a beautiful screen.
Like you can see, this is turbine 1G7. We are able to control all the processes on our turbine right from the control room without the operator needing to go there physically to carry out any control or processes.
Yeah.
So SCADA, like I said earlier, it will collect real-time data from our sensors in the plant. It will transmit this signal from the sensor through our I/O modules to the controllers, and then controllers send it to the control room for visualization by our operators, where they can monitor, they can control, and they can supervise.
What software are you using for your SCADA?
It's SCADA software, but ABB.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. It's ABB. So I'm done with our achievements so far. Then for this year, 2024, my department SCADA, we have few projects to be achieved. I would like to just walk you through the project we have to achieve for this year, 2024. The first is...
Have you changed the slides again?
Can you see?
I guess it stopped. Okay, so back to the workaround. That's okay.
Really nice SCADA screen, though.
Yeah.
Or turbine.
Have you dealt with any turbines, Ali?
Yeah, I did a combined cycle power plant that took like gas from landfill gas and makes like 28 megawatts. Yeah, and so that's two different kinds of turbines, but yeah.
Okay, so here we are. We got SCADA department's projects to be achieved this year.
The first of the projects to be achieved this year is one of our units, Kainji hydropower plant SCADA architecture upgrade from version 5.1 to 6.1. This upgrade is necessary to ensure performance optimization, long-term support from our OEMs, access to modern features and latest technologies, and then optimization of our control system operations. The next project this year is 1G11 control system upgrade from AC410 to AC800M system ABB. Our next project this year is Kainji hydropower plant I showed us earlier, but unfortunately you are not seeing my screen. So this is Kainji hydropower plant. The right-hand side here is our reservoir, and then the left-hand side here is the tail raise, where the water used by the turbine goes to the downstream. Can you see my screen?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we're not seeing that slide.
All right. So sorry.
That's okay. But I do want to see it. This is...
Yes.
I come from,
we will get through this.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
In my country where I grew up, Iceland, we have mostly geothermal power plants and some hydroelectric power plants. My great-grandfather actually built a really small hydroelectric power plant to power his farm that my grandpa helped build as a kid in my small town. Nothing, too sophisticated, I'm sure, but I didn't know that until I was a little bit older, and I thought that was pretty cool.
Interesting. Can you see my screen?
Yes,
it looks weird.
The wrong tab, I think, because I'm seeing me.
Infinity mirror.
Purple.
Ah.
Try it again.
Yep.
All right. Let me try it one more time.
Or like go to that screen first and then bring it up.
All right. All right.
Or something.
Okay. What about now? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
So data projects to be achieved this year, 2024, is the slide we're seeing. And let's just, when you're done with this slide, let's check if it advances or if we need to do it again before you keep going, because I hate interrupting you when you're on the roll.
Can you see Kainji hydropower plant?
Yes.
The picture of the plant?
Yeah.
Okay. So to the right of this picture is the reservoir.
Okay.
And then to the left is the tail raise. So in Kainji, we want to automate our water level at both reservoir and at the tail raise. Our goal is to fully automate water level management at the Kainji Dam reservoir and at the tail raise, because currently our operators manually input operating headwater level values into the controllers when there's a change. So we aim for our controllers to automatically obtain this real-time water level data to optimize our turbine operations and water discharge. So it's one of the projects we wish to achieve this year. On the next slide, can you see my slide?
No, it's still on the same one.
Okay. So sorry.
That's okay. Stop apologizing. It's not your fault.
I'm suspecting it's my network, but I'm not so sure, but I think it's my network.
Yeah. And I say that to you, and I don't take that my own advice, because I apologize way too much for things that aren't my fault either. Maybe it's a woman thing. I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sorry you guys apologize so much.
Yeah. Okay, we can see this one
That
now.
is the right answer.
With the dam.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So our fourth project for this year is this spillway integration into the SCADA system. This is presently being operated on an HMI in the control room. So we want to integrate this control into the operator desk, that is the SCADA system, to standardize the operation under a unique platform. So operators can sit down on his desk and be able to raise and drop the spillway gates without needing to move to the HMI, come back, move to HMI. It's involved lots of risk and can cause fatigue. The next project we want to achieve by my department, let me share my screen again. Is our township water level automation. Can we see my screen?
Yep.
Yep.
So we have this reservoir and then we have an overhead tank. So my department SCADA extend its expertise beyond the plant environment. We are not just plant engineers. Our expertise goes beyond the plant. So recently, the potable water department in mainstream requested our assistance to ensure uninterrupted 24/7 water supply to our quarters. So the focus is on automating water transfer from this reservoir to the overhead tank, which are 3 kilometers apart.
Okay.
So the system will start pumping water when the level of the water in the overhead tank is low, and then stop pumping when the desired level is reached, so as to prevent water wastage. Additionally, this system will trigger an alarm in case of a pipe burst for immediate resolution. So we have conducted assessments, we have drafted the electrical design scope, and we are currently finalizing on the technical scope.
Very cool.
Let me stop sharing
Oh no,
and move to
we could see that right slide.
I was like, it did it.
Ah.
It's all right. She has a rhythm.
And Courtney, you need some sleep.
You're right. Well, I have a very poor choice in lighting right now, so it's not adding to that well.
Courtney doesn't have the sleep filter on.
Nope.
Or the well-rested
Sleep filter, the
I
crying
should
filter.
say. Yeah.
I need a sick voice filter.
Okay, we can see this one now. You got a big
All right.
console there and some screens.
Okay. This is the sixth and the last project to be achieved this year by my department, SCADA, alarm system upgrade of the second plant. Using this old alarm system, we can see on this picture here in our power plant control rooms poses several risks. Firstly, there's a delayed response as our operators must physically go to the control board. This is the control board. So they must physically go to the control board to acknowledge and reset each alarm. This can lead to potential delays in addressing critical issues, particularly during emergencies. Secondly, managing multiple alarms simultaneously, say 20 for example, increases our operators' workload, which can cause them fatigue and decrease their efficiency. Thirdly, manual acknowledgement of alarms by operators raises the risk of oversight, potentially resulting in the neglect of critical alerts and posing safety hazards or equipment damage. And lastly, the physical attendance to alarms can distract our operators from other essential tasks, compromising our overall plant operation and safety. This is the upgraded Jeba hydropower plant alarm system by the SCADA department. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can still see the SCADA projects to be achieved this year.
Do you know what year this is from? Like the stuff in the back? Do you have like a year that was built? Because it's looks like a time machine.
Can you come again?
I love the paint job. It's like time stuck in time.
She was asking, do you know when the console was built with the buttons?
The original one, yeah. Before you guys integrated to SCADA, that one in the back, that green. How old? Do you know how old that is, or when that was originally put in?
1968.
Okay.
Wow!
That's
I knew
awesome.
you knew a date. I knew you knew. That's beautiful.
1968. So this is the upgraded Jeva hydropower plant alarm system where the operator sit down on his seat comfortably to acknowledge and reset several or series of alarms from the plant. Can you see my next slide?
Nope.
Not yet.
Yeah, it's on the same one.
That's so cool.
What could be the problem?
And you've been in there, right? Like you can touch like the
1968,
old stuff from 1968. Like
So that's why I want to work on the SCADA upgrade, architecture upgrade. So we need to upgrade. They've been too long. Though during the process between 1968 to 2013, there was a little bit of upgrade. But since that 2013 to 2024, there has been no upgrade. So we want to achieve the SCADA upgrade this year.
Probably, is it like dying? Like it's time. Oh, cool. Yeah, we can see it.
You can see my screen. So this is myself doing some checks on our controllers, ABB controllers, Siemens PLC, Mitsubishi, Schneider. We have series of controllers of PLC, but presently here, this is our ABB controllers. And then here we are checking the signals coming from our sensors in the plant. And then our IO module checks. And then power supply checks, 24 volt, either AC or DC. Can you see my next slide?
Nope.
Still the same one.
Yep.
Okay.
So I assume that maybe Alan Bradley is not as mainstream or common over there because you mentioned Schneider, Siemens, ABB, quite a bit. And we're so used to here in the U.S. that Alan Bradley is the market leader, but really
I've
in the
heard-
world, they're not.
I've heard
Outside
in
of the
Nigeria,
US, they're
they have
not.
Alan
They're not as
Bradley.
big.
Yeah.
Though I've heard a lot about Alan Bradley, and I think I've done few trainings on Alan Bradley. But the latest technology we have in my plant here is Siemens and ABB.
Okay, yeah.
I think we only have one place we use Alan Bradley, and is not so common. So
Yeah.
the most common one is the ABB, Siemens, and Schneider.
The European brands.
So we also work with expatriates in my company. This is Mr. Hubert from Switzerland. They come down to one of our units. We did an upgrade on 1G7 is a new plant. So Mr. Hubert from Switzerland is a control system expert. So I worked with him directly. And then this is our mini lab where we practice our simulation before we take the real project to the plant.
Okay.
And then to the young girls, ladies out there, I want to advise us to stop waiting for others to appreciate you. Let's start becoming our own biggest fan. I want to move to the next slide. I have to stop sharing and go back and reshare.
And while you're resharing that, I want to share that same sentiment. And not just young girls, but us women also that have been in it.
Grown ladies as well.
Grown ladies as well. You have to just be able to cheer yourself on. Sometimes you're not going to have anybody do it for you. And then sometimes we really need to cheer each other on.
Yes.
I mean, we find it even as adults. Like today, I had a rough day, and then I had somebody message me, and the automation ladies, one of our team members, she was saying that, she was having a hard time and, was feeling like she was not accomplishing enough, and she looked up to me. And it just, to me, when I'm at my lowest, I can't imagine anybody looking up to me either. And and then I saw a post in the Women in Automation group that we have for AHTD, similarly, like about happiness and things like that. And you're not going to get any of that from the outside. The validation, somebody is not going to make you successful. But you don't have to go at it alone in the sense that, like, we are here to support each other. And if you don't have that in your plant, now you're connected with us, right? Like anybody out there, if you feel that kind of low, like I did today, or like Elena did today, reach out to any one of us. Because sometimes it just takes somebody pushing you a little bit at the time when you're that low, or telling you, you know what, you are really good, even though right now you feel not.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I appreciate that message to the young ladies as well as the rest of us, to be honest.
Exactly. Can we see my slide?
Yes, look at you, high up on the crane.
This is myself high up there on top of the crane in the middle of the river Niger. So this is another message to our younger ladies and to ourselves. Fear doesn't exist anywhere except in the mind. Let us never give up. I want to move to the next slide. I have to stop sharing and go back again.
And while you do that, I also got a message from somebody else today that I just connected with, and he said he appreciated what Automation Ladies was doing. He graduated with an engineering class of about 200 in college. 5 of them were women, and he said that he actually doesn't think any of them are still engineers for multiple different reasons. Whether it was, he mentioned like sexism or just different things. And it is, I don't blame those that give up either. Maybe they just didn't find, the support that they needed. But I would really like to stop that practice of the women that do make it through the engineering courses and all of those things to not get discouraged and leave the industry.
Exactly. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
So this is still me standing here high up on the crane. By the right hand side here is a very large river. And to the left hand side here is another large river. So standing in the middle without fears. We are women. I know we can do this. Once we conquer our fears, our limits, our limitation is infinite. So another message for us is face your fears. What you can never confront, you can never conquer, and that will be your limitations. Can we see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
I'm also a ha person in a lol world. Lady engineers too also have fun. It's not just about work, work, work. Let's also have life outside our work.
That's a great point.
Thank
And it
you.
looks like you're riding horses there in both of the pictures.
Sorry?
I said, were you riding horses in both of those pictures?
Yes.
That's awesome.
I forgot to put another fun I love to do, which is playing of basketball and volleyball. So I do that a lot with my twin sister before she relocated to the US, leaving me behind in Nigeria. So I forgot to put up that picture, and I'll put another quote for us to encourage the younger ones out there. It's not just about work, 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 book, 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 book. There's life outside work. Let's have fun. Thank you all for listening.
I have some questions.
All right.
I'm working with another young woman from Nigeria, and kind of what happened with her, and because you talked about like when you first got out of school that not only like was the unemployment rate just like bad, so like not everyone could even get jobs, but like
Yeah.
you guys are women too. And so can you talk more about like how you dealt with that? Because I want to like kind of give, like we give all this encouragement to girls, but like some of the stuff they're receiving is just like people don't really necessarily believe they can do it. And so like how do you combat that, and like how do you not give up until you finally get your chance to prove that like gender has nothing to do with it, and then people just see like, oh well, she's just gonna just keep doing it excellently and just like let you at it, because like once they see it they're gonna be fine, but it's how do you get there and how do you hold on, and how long does it take, and like do you have any advice on like how you could get yourself to prove that to people sooner so that they'll get them to give you a chance? Like how do you fight that?
It was actually a very tough time and period. It was. At times, I go into my secure base, I cry, pour a lot of tears, and then come out stronger. So, what I love doing, I love anything technology, especially automating things, making things work themselves. When I was young, I always dreamt of becoming a robotic engineer. But due to limitations around me, I was not opportuned. But when I got hold of instrumentation and control, I said, this is something closer to being a robotics engineer. Then later SCADA. I said, wow, this is an industrial automation processes or job that's being carried out. So during those period of my waiting time, it was more than 5 years I waited. Coming out as the best female student in my class, without getting a job, I was like, wow, what was all the struggles for?
So,
What was all the learning, all the sacrifices, all the night readings, all the oh no, it was a very tough time. But I was resilient enough. Even when I go back to my secure base, I come out a bit stronger. I gather kids because I have passion in impacting what I have to the younger ones. So I started arranging extramurals. At times they come to my house. I arrange a room. I walk them through in physics, mathematics, computer. So as I'm doing this to get myself busy, I'm no longer idle. Then I started looking up for internships because I couldn't get a direct job. After securing one of the internships I did for 1 year, I was not called or retained. It was another terrible moment. Wow. Where do I get started? How do I cope? And I relocated. I had to move from Kogi State to FCT Abuja. So I had to start thinking of moving to Niger State to pick up another internship. And some of these internships, they are not paid. Even if they are being paid, it's
Oh
a
my God.
peanuts money. So it was a really tough time, but with resilience, hard work, patience, I was able to conquer, and then having an understanding partner. That's my husband. He was a real prime mover for me. So he was there for me whenever I need assistance. At times I blow out in tears and crying. He comes down, no, calm down. You have a good grade. You can do it. It's not as if you are not good. Hassana, you are good. Calm down. So then my twin sister had already relocated with her husband to the US. So she was one of my contacts too. I cried to her day and night. She was always there to encourage me. So their encouragement and my resilience pushed me through.
That's
That's
incredible.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's great.
And I think that can, it doesn't make it any easier, but perspective I know people that have like maybe been struggling for a year, looking for something. 5 years. I mean, that's a long time. But I think what you did right there was, or not what you did right, like one of many things is, instead of just waiting, you decided to do something, which is you started to teach other girls. You started, right? So I think that, for people, if you're kind of stuck and you're trying to get into something and it's not happening for you, think about what else you can do in the meantime that changes the dynamics of you getting into that eventually. And I know that can be challenging, especially if you need to get paid and doing other projects that doesn't pay well. But yeah, not everybody gets that easy path. And that's incredibly inspiring, your resilience.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your story with us. And I also very much appreciate the interesting information about your projects at the power plant, showing us your SCADA screens. I think we might need to encourage more future guests, if they would like to, share that kind of stuff with us on the show, because that was a project I didn't expect, but I really loved. Outside, hopefully no technical challenges next time. So your sister is in the US, your twin. Where in the United States is she located?
She's in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh, okay.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, maybe one day you can come visit her in Chicago and we can set up.
Her winters must be like shocking. Ask her about winter. Yeah.
I should ask her about.
Ask her about winter. How does she feel about the winters in Chicago?
A winter in Chicago is very painful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I grew up in Hawaii, so yeah, Chicago was harsh.
Wow. It's a lot. She always talks about it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
What's the time difference between you and your sister?
The time difference is 6 hours.
Okay. That's not too bad.
Time difference in at birth or at birth.
What?
Hello?
I'm sorry?
Sorry, did you mean time difference when we're given birth to, or the time difference? What time difference do you mean? Sorry.
Oh, the difference in time, like when you're eating dinner, what time is it for her?
Okay, it's 6 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours.
What time is it for you right now?
This is 10 p.m.
Goodness.
Well,
That's
probably
past my bedtime.
Yeah, to let you get
It's 2
going.
p.m. for me. And Courtney.
I want to throw up a few. We've had a great participation from the audience. I'm not sure if you've been seeing this, Hassana, because I'm sure you've been tuned in on trying to get your slides up. But we have some of your colleagues, I'm sure, that have joined. We have Adam Wilkerson has been chiming in. Thank you very much. So apparently Alan Bradley is starting to make some waves in the Nigerian market, but maybe not, it's a little bit less established. And we've had some great feedback as well. Thank you, Michael, for joining us. He says it's a great and inspiring presentation. We really appreciate you sharing your story, Hassana, with us. And then I think we owe you coming on the show again somehow, some way, where we can get and video. So this will not be the last of you on the Automation Ladies.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. To those that, if we probably won't make this an audio episode just because of having the visuals and everything. But this video is viewable on YouTube. It is the first time that we've streamed to Twitter, actually, also, or X now, I guess it's called. We apparently have a...
How dare you?
And this will also be, of course, viewable on LinkedIn Live as a recording. But I would encourage everybody that, has an interest in power plant engineering, SCADA systems, or, your story and your inspiration. If you're willing to keep sharing information with us here, on LinkedIn, I would encourage everybody that saw this to follow and try to connect with Hassana. And we'll see you hopefully soon on the program again under better circumstances.
Thank you.
Allie and Courtney, any closing words from you two?
I just want people out there to know that and I think even I was scared when I graduated, because I graduated in 2010, which was 2 years after the housing bubble, and no one was hiring people, and society's gonna go through these cycles where there's just no jobs, and it is heartbreaking to just be rejected for what you expected to be your life dreams are just smashed around you. But the whole idea about what she did and what other people do is that just don't let that totally kill your light. Find a way to work in that building or with someone that knows somebody. There's just a way if you don't let it go. And too many people I hate to see, they just quit because it's easier and because it just doesn't look like there's any light. They're just this is never going to happen for me. It wasn't meant for me. And I hate that because that's so unfair and it's not true. And some people do wait as long as 5 and even more years to get to where they want. But it is about you putting in that effort to be no, I refuse that this destiny is rejecting me. And you're I want to be part of this, and I'm going to figure out how to be part of this, and you guys are going to let me in. And the more of us that come out and tell the story of how we made it, the more other people are, and not just girls, are going to look at us and be oh, if I don't let go, I might grab this with enough and I have it, because some people do, they have it. Life just beats you up anyway. What's another more couple beatings? Or whatever it is that you're gonna have to go through, you're already stuck. So please don't give up, and please figure out some way. Come talk to us. Come talk to other people that keep telling their story and ask them, well, how do I even start? I've had a recruiter actually recently just ask me, do you think you could see me entering controls? I was yeah, come on over here. And he's how do I even start? And I'm you watch Tim Wilborn videos. It doesn't matter where you start. You start asking people, learning from other people. What Hassana did was just start mentoring other people. Don't lose it, because it's going to be hard for you to keep something that you just studied how to do. So you got to find some way to be a tutor or to start putting out content, making your own content, curing other people's content. I don't really care. Just don't leave. Don't leave. That's my rant.
I will add
It summarizes it well.
If you want to learn new stuff and you want to make content about it, we can also help you with that. We are limited in our time and resources to help people. We do have jobs and the show and many, many other responsibilities, but we really want to help those that are willing to help themselves. So if you want to learn how to do SCADA or controls or
training,
IoT stuff, connect things to the cloud, whatever it is, we may know someone or have some resources or be able to provide you with something if you're willing to put in the time and then maybe share some of those learnings with us, share some of those learnings with others. You don't have to be the expert to teach someone. Somebody knows less than you about everything. It doesn't really matter what. So I encourage you to be brave, ask for help, guidance. Just don't ask somebody to do everything for you. We don't have the time for that or the resources. And we're also
no one can hold your hand all the way.
Yeah.
Not in this type of work. This work is like self-directed, very hard self-direction.
Yeah. Now we want to have this community be someplace that if you have the drive, you can find the resources, the help, and be supported. So thank you, everybody. Also, this goes to show, I would say, it doesn't matter what your technical difficulties are, whether you can even see yourself on the screen. This is still valuable. Don't stop. Don't give up. We still put out this episode, even though it was, by many counts, a total disaster. This has been one of my favorite shows to date. So, Hassana, everybody else, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next
welcome.
time. And please consider checking out the audio podcast. If you don't listen to it, it is available on iTunes and Spotify and all other major podcast players. You can also find us on our website, automationladies.io. And we just dropped a very cool episode today where we interviewed a Brazilian engineer that is now in Ireland. She also has a very amazing story of resilience. She also had to wait many years to get into the job that she wanted. And just another amazing story of how you can really make it in this industry. But it isn't necessarily easy. So thank you, everybody. Appreciate you being part of our community. And we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.